2 years ago, a 54-year-old woman entered my consulting room. I'll call her Doña Marta. She sat down in the chair, looked at me, and said, "Doctor, I came here because my neighbor insisted. I truly believe I don't have anything wrong, but she kept bothering me so much that I came just to prove everything is fine." I smiled, ordered some routine tests, and told her to return in a week. When Doña Marta came back with the results, her smile had vanished, and so had mine. Her kidneys were functioning at less than half their capacity. Less than half. And do you know what the most terrifying thing is? She didn't feel any pain at all. She had signs, yes. Her body was screaming for help, but she didn't know how to read those signs. And that is exactly why I am recording this video today, because what happened to Doña Marta happens to thousands of people every single day. The kidneys slowly lose strength, they get sick little by little, and the person doesn't feel anything until one day, when they finally discover it, they have already lost a part that they will never get back. Therefore, I need you to pay close attention to what I am going to tell you in the next few minutes, because I am going to show you 5 signals, 5 warnings that your body gives you when your kidneys are in danger. Some of these signals are so common, so much a part of everyday life, that you will probably be frightened when you realize that you feel some of them and never gave them importance. Stay with me until the end. This video can change your life, and I am not exaggerating. It can literally change your life. Before delving into the 5 signals, I need to explain something that very few people know. And when I say few people, I mean it seriously. Most of the people I treat in my practice have no idea about this. The kidneys are 2 organs roughly the size of your fist that are located here in your back, one on each side. Their primary job is to filter your blood. Think of it this way. Imagine your body is a house. Your blood is the water circulating throughout that house, and your kidneys are the filter. This filter cleans the water, removes impurities, takes out what is useless, and sends it out through the urine. Now imagine what happens when that filter starts to get clogged. The water begins to get dirty, impurities accumulate, and the entire house starts to have problems. This is exactly what happens in your body when your kidneys begin to fail. But there is one detail that makes everything much more dangerous. The kidneys don't hurt, at least not at first. Unlike the stomach, which hurts when something goes wrong, unlike a tooth that throbs when inflamed, the kidneys suffer in silence. They gradually lose the ability to filter the blood slowly, without giving any warning sign of pain. And when the pain appears, it is generally already too late. That's why we call kidney disease the silent disease. It advances underneath, quietly, and when you realize it, it has already taken away a good part of your health. And it is precisely for this reason that I need to ask you something now. If this information has already resonated with you, if you are already thinking about someone in your family who needs to hear this, then click the like button below. That simple gesture helps this video reach more people who need this information. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and activate the notification bell, because here I bring content that can really save your health. It is not an exaggeration, it is life-saving information. Now that we have that clear, let's move on to the first signal. The first signal that your kidneys may be in danger appears in a place you visit every day, but rarely pay attention to. The bathroom, more specifically, your urine. I know no one likes to talk about this, but I need you to start paying attention to your urine starting today, because it is one of the biggest indicators of your kidney health. And there are some changes that are truly screams for help. The first is color. Healthy urine has a light yellow color, like a very light chamomile tea. If your urine is constantly very dark, as if it were strong coffee, that can be a sign that your kidneys are having difficulty filtering properly. And if your urine has a reddish, pinkish, or brownish color, pay close attention, because that can mean there is blood in your urine. And blood in the urine is a serious sign that requires immediate investigation. The second thing is foam. Have you noticed if your urine foams? I'm not talking about that little bit of foam that appears when the stream hits the water hard. I'm talking about a persistent foam that stays there for several minutes, looking like soap suds or beaten egg whites. This foam can indicate that there is protein in your urine, and protein in the urine is a classic sign that the kidneys are not managing to do their job properly. It's as if the filter were so damaged that it starts letting through things it shouldn't. And the third thing is frequency. If you are going to the bathroom much more often than normal, especially in the early morning hours, getting up 2, 3, 4 times to urinate, that deserves attention. Or the opposite, if you notice that you are urinating much less than normal, that is also an alert. I had a patient who sought me out precisely for this reason. He was 48 years old, worked as a truck driver, and told me that he was getting up every night about 3 or 4 times to go to the bathroom. He thought it was due to age, that it was normal. It was not. His kidneys were already compromised. So, starting today, before flushing, take a look, observe the color, observe if there is foam, and pay attention to the frequency. Your body is sending you messages through there. Now let's go with the second signal, and this is one that confuses many people. I'm talking about swelling, but not just any swelling. Pay attention. When the kidneys are not working well, they lose the ability to eliminate excess fluid from the body, and that fluid begins to accumulate and appears in very specific places. The first place you'll notice it is in your feet and ankles. You take off your shoe at the end of the day and notice that your foot is swollen, that the mark of the sock or sandal remains. Many people think this is normal, that it's just tiredness, that it's because they stood for a long time, and sometimes it is. But when this swelling starts to happen frequently, when it doesn't go away after a night of rest, that's an alert. The second place is the face, mainly around the eyes. You wake up in the morning, look in the mirror, and notice that your eyes are swollen as if you had cried all night. That can be excess fluid that the kidneys failed to eliminate during the night. And there is a simple way to test if swelling in the legs is worrying. Press your shin with your finger firmly for about 5 seconds. Then, release. If there is a sunken mark that takes time to return to normal, that can be a sign that the body is retaining fluid because of the kidneys. I remember a patient who came to me because she thought she was gaining weight. She told me that she had gained 6 kilos in 2 months, but had not changed anything in her diet. When we investigated, it wasn't fat. It was fluid. Her kidneys were retaining fluid throughout her body. So, if you are noticing swelling that makes no sense, that appears for no apparent reason, especially in your feet, legs, and face, do not ignore it. That is your body asking for help. Tell me here in the comments, have you noticed any swelling like this? Write down below, I noticed it, or I never noticed it. I read all the comments, and I will respond to you. Let's move on to the third signal, and this is perhaps the most treacherous of all because it is a symptom that we attribute to everything except the kidneys. I'm talking about tiredness that doesn't go away, a deep exhaustion that doesn't improve even after a good night's sleep. You sleep 8 hours and wake up as if you hadn't slept. You do simple things during the day, and you already feel exhausted. And then you think, it must be stress, it must be the daily grind, it must be age. But there is an explanation that almost no one considers. When the kidneys are failing, they lose the ability to produce a substance that helps the body manufacture red blood cells. And it is those red blood cells that carry oxygen to all your organs, to all your muscles. So, when the kidneys fail, the body produces fewer of these cells, less oxygen reaches your tissues, and the result is that brutal fatigue. It's as if your body were trying to function with half the fuel. Imagine a car trying to drive with the tank almost empty. Yes, it moves forward, but without force, without energy, failing. That's what happens to your body. And there's more. That tiredness comes with other symptoms that we don't even connect. Difficulty concentrating, reasoning, remembering things. A constant feeling of coldness, even when it's hot. Shortness of breath when doing simple things, like climbing stairs or walking to the door. All of that can be linked to the kidneys, and people suffer from this for months, sometimes for years. taking vitamins, taking energizers, thinking they lack iron, and the real problem is there in the kidneys, silent, getting worse every day that passes. I often tell my patients, when the tiredness is greater than what your routine justifies, something is wrong, and the kidneys need to be added to the list of suspects. And now I need to talk to you about the fourth signal, and this is the one that catches people most by surprise. It's the signal that when I mention it in the office, the person opens their eyes wide and says, "Doctor, I've had that for a long time, and I never imagined it could be the kidneys." I'm talking about a persistent itchiness on the skin, an itchiness that has no apparent cause. It's not an allergy, it's not dry skin due to the climate, it's not a reaction to soap or clothing. It's an itchiness that comes from within, that bothers you all day, that sometimes wakes you up at night, and that doesn't improve with moisturizing cream or allergy medication. Do you know why this happens? When the kidneys are not filtering the blood as they should, toxins, impurities that should leave the body through urine, remain circulating in the blood. These toxins accumulate beneath the skin, and the body's reaction is to scratch. It's as if your body were trying to get rid of it any way it could. Along with the itchiness often comes very dry, rough skin that flakes easily, and a different skin, tone, a grayish, yellowish color that is not normal. I treated a 62-year-old man who had been to 3 dermatologists for itchiness all over his body. He took antihistamines, applied ointment, changed soap, changed sheets. Nothing worked. When he finally had kidney tests done, he discovered that he already had significant loss of function. The itchiness was his body screaming for help, and no one was listening. So, if you have itchiness on your body that won't go away, that has no clear explanation, please do not ignore it. Go to the doctor and ask them to investigate your kidneys. It might be the missing piece of the puzzle. And now let's go with the fifth and final signal. And this closes the picture in a way that will surprise you because this signal appears in a place you would never connect with the kidneys. Your mouth, more specifically, a metallic taste in the mouth, as if you were sucking on a coin. A strange metallic taste that appears out of nowhere and doesn't go away. And along with that taste comes a loss of appetite. Food loses its flavor. That dish you love to eat suddenly seems bland, tasteless. Sometimes it even gives you nausea, and many people start losing weight because of this, because they simply cannot eat properly. Do you know why this happens? When the kidneys do not filter the blood as they should, a substance called urea begins to accumulate in the body, and this excess urea reaches the saliva, alters the palate, and creates that horrible metallic taste in the mouth. It's as if the waste that should come out through the urine starts coming out through other channels, and the mouth is one of them. And there are people who even notice different breath, strong breath with an odor that resembles ammonia, which does not improve with brushing or mouthwash. Because the problem is not in the mouth, the problem is in the kidneys. I had a patient who sought me out thinking she had stomach problems. She told me she couldn't eat, that everything tasted bad, and that she was losing weight unintentionally. The general practitioner ordered an endoscopy, abdominal ultrasound, liver tests, all normal. When someone finally requested kidney tests, the answer appeared. Her kidneys were calling for help, and the first place the scream appeared was in her mouth. Now answer me here in the comments. Of the 5 signs I showed you, how many have you felt or do you feel now? Write down the number. It could be 0, it could be 1, it could be 5. I want to know, and if you know someone in your family, a father, a mother, a grandfather, a grandmother, a friend who feels any of these things, please share this video with that person right now. It could be the push they needed to go to the doctor. Now I need to talk to you about the most important part of this entire video, because there is no point in showing you the signals if I don't show you what to do. And the good news is that in most cases, you can protect your kidneys with simple actions that you can start today. The first is water. It seems too simple, I know, but most people don't drink enough water, and water is the fuel for the kidneys. It helps the kidneys do the work of filtering the blood. Without enough water, it's like asking the filter to run dry. It will wear out much faster. The general recommendation is to drink around 2 L a day, but that varies from person to person. Talk to your doctor about the ideal amount for you. The second is to take care of your diet, and here I need to be direct. Excess salt is one of the worst enemies of your kidneys. Salt causes the body to retain fluid, raises blood pressure, and overloads the kidneys. That processed seasoning, that instant soup, that sausage full of sodium, all of that wears down your kidneys over the years. You don't need to eliminate everything at once, but you do need to start reducing. Changing processed seasoning for natural condiments, garlic, onion, fresh herbs, already makes a huge difference. The third is controlling blood pressure and blood sugar. These two conditions, high blood pressure and high blood sugar, are the two biggest causes of kidney problems worldwide. If you have high blood pressure or high blood sugar and are not controlling it well, your kidneys are suffering right now. Take your medications exactly as prescribed, attend your appointments, and get follow-up tests. You cannot gamble with this. The fourth thing, and this is fundamental, is to get regular checkups. There are two simple tests that show how your kidneys are doing. One is a blood test that measures a substance called creatinine, which indicates if the kidney filter is working properly. The other is a simple urine test that detects if there is protein where there shouldn't be. These tests are inexpensive, fast, and can detect the problem early on when something can still be done. Ask your doctor at your next appointment. Tell them, "Doctor, I want to check how my kidneys are doing." It's that simple. And the fifth thing is to stop self-medicating. I know everyone takes a pill for a headache here, another for back pain there, but many of those medications we take without thinking, especially anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, those that everyone takes for pain, are extremely hard on the kidneys. Taking them occasionally with medical guidance is fine, but taking them on your own every week is like slowly hitting your kidneys. Over time, the damage appears. And now I want to leave you with a message that I consider the most important of everything I have said so far. Do you remember Doña Marta, the one I told you about at the beginning of the video? The one who came to the office just because her neighbor insisted? I have good news to give you because we detected her problem in time. It wasn't easy. She needed to change many things in her life, in her diet, in her habits, in her medications. But today, 2 years later, her kidneys are stable. She did not need dialysis. She did not need a transplant. She is living her life normally, and all because someone, in this case her neighbor, cared enough to insist that she go to the doctor. So I want you to be that person for someone else. Maybe you yourself are feeling some of these signals and didn't know what it was. Now you know. So, don't put it off. Schedule an appointment, order the tests, take care of your kidneys while there is time. And maybe there is someone in your life who needs to hear this. A father who complains of tiredness, a mother who has swollen feet, a friend who mentions that strange itchiness. Send this video to that person, share it right now. It could be the information that changes their story. I am Dr. Samuel Herrera, a nephrologist, and this channel exists for only one reason: to give you quality information that can protect your health. If this video resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and give it a like. Every like, every subscription helps this video reach more people who need to hear this. And click on this video next to me because I prepared content that complements everything we discussed today. I'll see you there.